The tale of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the original story. In the early 19th century, stories about anthropomorphic animals were popular across Europe, especially in England. The first written version of what would become Goldilocks and the Three Bears was penned by British author Robert Southey in 1837. In his tale, an old woman enters the house of three male bears who live in the forest. She eats their porridge, sits in their chairs, and sleeps in their beds before being discovered by the bears. The ending varies across versions. In some, the old woman runs away, and in others, she meets a more sinister fate. Over time, storytellers and authors adapted the tale to suit their audiences. The old woman eventually became a young girl, and the bachelor bears turned into a family: Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. The transition from an old woman to a young girl reflected a shift toward making the story more appealing to children, emphasizing curiosity, adventure, and the consequences of one's actions. Once upon a time, nestled deep within a great and mysterious forest, there was a cozy little house. In this house lived a family of three bears: Papa Bear, a towering, gruff bear with a love for order and strength; Mama Bear, gentle and nurturing, always busy with something warm and comforting in her kitchen; and Baby Bear, a lively little cub full of curiosity and energy. They lived in perfect harmony, sharing their lives in a quaint, peaceful home that always smelled of fresh porridge in the morning. One sunny morning, as the birds sang their melodic songs, Mama Bear prepared a delicious pot of porridge for breakfast. But the porridge was too hot to eat right away, so Papa Bear suggested they all take a walk through the forest to let it cool. With that, the three bears left their home, venturing into the forest paths, leaving the house unlocked and the table set. Now, not too far from the bears' home lived a curious little girl with flowing golden locks. Her name was Goldilocks. Goldilocks was a girl who could never resist an adventure, always exploring new nooks and crannies in the woods despite the warnings her mother gave her. That day, as Goldilocks wandered through the forest, she stumbled upon the quaint little house. Filled with intrigue and excitement, she tiptoed toward the house, noticing the door was slightly ajar. Without hesitation, she peeked inside. The aroma of the porridge reached her, and her stomach rumbled with hunger. Goldilocks knew she shouldn't go inside someone else's home, but her curiosity was stronger than her sense of caution. She stepped inside. The first thing she noticed was the table in the kitchen, neatly set with 3 bowls of porridge. Her eyes gleamed. Unable to resist, she went straight to the first bowl, which was large and belonged to Papa Bear. Goldilocks took a spoonful but immediately recoiled. It was far too hot. Undeterred, she moved to the next bowl, Mama Bear's medium-sized bowl, but this one was much too cold. Finally, she dipped her spoon into Baby Bear's small bowl. The temperature was just perfect, so she ate it all up, savoring every bite. Now that her hunger was satisfied, Goldilocks began to look around the cozy house. In the living room, she found 3 chairs neatly placed in a row. Goldilocks, always eager to explore, decided to try them out. She climbed into the biggest chair, Papa Bear's chair, but it was far too hard and uncomfortable. Then she tried Mama Bear's chair, which was softer, but it was too soft and plush for her taste. Finally, she sat in Baby Bear's small chair, and it fit her perfectly. As she rocked back and forth, enjoying the comfort, she heard a loud crack. To her horror, the chair collapsed under her weight, leaving her sitting on the floor among the pieces. Feeling a bit guilty but more tired than remorseful, Goldilocks yawned and noticed a staircase leading to the bedroom. She tiptoed up the stairs and found 3 neatly made beds. The first bed, Papa Bear's, was far too large and stiff, and when she tried Mama Bear's bed, it was much too soft. But when she curled up in Baby Bear's small, cozy bed, it felt just right. Within moments, Goldilocks drifted off into a deep, peaceful sleep. Meanwhile, the 3 bears had finished their walk and returned home. As soon as they entered the house, Papa Bear sniffed the air suspiciously. Something was amiss. He strode into the kitchen and immediately noticed that someone had been eating his porridge. "Who's been eating my porridge?" he growled. Mama Bear, following behind, gasped as she saw her bowl had also been touched. "Someone's been eating my porridge too," she exclaimed. Baby Bear scurried over to his bowl, peering inside. "Someone's been eating my porridge, and they've eaten it all up," he cried. With growing concern, the 3 bears moved into the living room. Papa Bear noticed that his chair had been moved. "Who's been sitting in my chair?" he grumbled. Mama Bear inspected her chair and frowned, saying, "Someone's been sitting in my chair as well." Baby Bear looked at the remains of his broken chair and wailed, "Someone's been sitting in my chair, and they've broken it." The bears, now certain that someone had entered their home, hurried upstairs to the bedroom. Papa Bear immediately noticed that his bed was rumpled. "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" he demanded. Mama Bear checked her bed and sighed, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed too." But when Baby Bear looked at his bed, he saw a sight that made him gasp in surprise. There, fast asleep, was Goldilocks, curled up in his blankets. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and she's still there," he squeaked. The sound of Baby Bear's voice woke Goldilocks with a start. She opened her eyes to find 3 bears staring down at her, Papa Bear with a deep frown, Mama Bear looking concerned, and Baby Bear staring in shock. Terrified, Goldilocks jumped out of the bed, ran down the stairs, and fled from the house as fast as her legs could carry her, disappearing into the woods. The 3 bears watched from their doorway, astonished by the little girl's boldness. From that day on, Goldilocks never dared to return to the house of the 3 bears, and she learned a valuable lesson about respecting other people's homes and belongings. Moral of the story: while Goldilocks and the 3 bears is a whimsical and engaging tale, it also serves as a cautionary story. It teaches children the importance of boundaries, respect for others' property, and the consequences of curiosity gone too far. Goldilocks' adventure into the home of the 3 bears is a reminder that actions have consequences, even if driven by innocent curiosity.